Hi.
Hi. Are you feeling positive about today's chit chat? I am.
I'm right in the middle.
Good.
Right in the middle. I got both.
Let's tip that towards the positive.
Okay, then that means I'm going to start with the good ad, and then we can end with the bad ad.
Okay.
I have a feeling the good ad is just so good that there's almost going to be nothing to say about it.
Okay.
Yeah, fascinated by this.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I did this time around, because I don't pay attention to ads all that much these days, and I don't make ads these days. I haven't made ads in a long time.
Yeah.
I always found I'm kind of confounded by that, because I always thought I would build a career that would get more successful, and then I would dip back into ads again once more and do the real ads that I want to make.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to make ads. And maybe that's why we're doing this, because if you do something like this where you're looking at ads and you're breaking them down, wouldn't you be like kind of ruining your career as an ad maker? Or is it okay to be an ad maker and be critical of ads and have discussions about them, but then you're talking about agencies? And you know what I mean? That's interesting.
If any agency people see it, you're probably shooting yourself in the foot if you're critical.
Well, a little bit, yeah. Or maybe you're so brazen with your opinion about what you like that the right ad agencies come to you. They're like, we agree. We have like minds. Anyways, so what I did is I was like, you know what? I haven't been on Ad Week in decades.
Yeah.
Let's go see what is Ad Week still around? Let's go see what they're posting. Went on their Instagram account. Every single thing they post is amazing.
Oh, really?
Like I was not to really like toot their horn. Why not toot their horn? I was like, there's so much incredible ads being made, and my mind's blown completely. You know, I really wish I would have done like deep research on it so I could give you so much more information around it. But it's also great that we just respond to an ad as people that don't know everything about it. You know, it's like, here's an ad. What do you make of this? So shall we watch?
Yeah.
Did you get the link?
I did.
All right. Opening the link.
Hang on. So am I. Okay.
On Statendorf. 1, 2, 3, Statendorf. Press play.
It's sure to blow your mind. There's always something to find at the mall.
I found what I didn't know I needed.
I found something I will cherish
at the mall.
I found a whole new way to play.
I found a whole new way to play.
Hey, I found a whole new way to play. We found infinite possibilities.
I found myself
as part of a community.
Realities collide and perceptions slip inside.
Combined.
A home.
Friends.
Yourself. We're ready.
At Meow Wolf.
What did I just watch?
An ad.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was delightfully over the top. And I feel like it references so many things that I don't even remember what they are.
I know.
It's all the references in one thing. It's great. It's kooky. It's not informative, but that doesn't matter. It reminds me of
It's so not informative.
It reminds me of there's a subreddit called Dead Malls, and it's just people who have, it's mostly in the United States, people who have like snuck into these malls that are now dead, because I guess malls aren't really a thriving place to have shops anymore. And it's really creepy about how malls look when they're really empty and abandoned. Really creepy. And it reminds me of the vibe of some empty malls in like small American cities. You can see how there's like malls and now there's just a puddle of disappointment everywhere. It's pretty mad. Anyways, it reminded me of that.
Yeah.
There's
two things that popped into my head when you said that. One, there's a weird revitalization of malls happening in bits and I don't know. It's happening in Portland.
Yeah.
The Lloyd Center was going. I don't know the whole story. It was basically defunct, going under, was going to be sold.
Yeah.
And now it's in a limbo state. I think someone bought it, but it will stay open for a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And in this time, they started opening the doors to whoever. You didn't have to be like a giant corporate entity. I think rents were lowered. There's now like Floating World is the comic book shop that's in there. Astroplastique is a vinyl store that's there.
All right, so people are going back into malls now.
Yeah, they went back into the mall.
I thought they would be like completely abandoned and they'd end up having to be lived in. And here I was getting excited for the period of time where people are living in malls.
Wild. Like thriving squat malls?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's one end of it. And the other end, as soon as some grubby landlords get wind of it, that they did buy up a mall and just subdivide it into, little apartments or something.
And they could be turned into like huge recreational centers.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's use for the buildings. It's just sad that they're not being used. But I'm happy to hear in Portland that there's one that's being reused now. That's good news.
Yeah. But then on the flip side, when you were talking about like these despairing, sad, decrepit, what is it about a mall that is so fucking cavernous and creepy when it's abandoned and so delightful to sneak into with all the nostalgia of what it was?
Yeah.
Rick McCrank, a skateboarder, Canadian skateboarder.
I remember him, yeah.
Yeah, he has a show called Abandoned, and he goes...
He has a show now, does he?
Oh, well, it's old. It was a Vice show when Vice launched their, like, TV channel. He had a show.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. And it's about exploring spaces like creepy old malls. And he goes and skateboards in them and explores them. It's always a lament of, like, what is this sadness? Why is this sadness everywhere?
Yeah.
And it's great that Meow Wolf. First of all, do you know who Meow Wolf is?
So that brings me to the second point I had watching through. And when I said it's not informative, it's pretty much that comment again, but in different words. I don't know what it's an advertisement for.
Great. That's amazing. That's so amazing.
I mean, I love that. I love not knowing.
There's a dimension in which you and I like travel to every Meow Wolf every time they do one, and I don't know why I don't. I should literally set up my holidays to be at every Meow Wolf as they happen.
So it's like a meetup of some kind.
They're Banksy. Yeah, essentially they're Banksy.
Like an art group.
Yeah, I'm trying not to say too much.
Okay.
but I was like, let Kent discover it on his own afterwards. But yeah, they're a Banksy. They're a big not corporate, but they're like an entity where they constantly are hiring, and giving people jobs to help put on their massive installations.
So they are like a profit generating art group.
Yeah, they put on shows, massive art shows. Yeah, and they have ongoing. I don't know what their schedule is like right now. That's the one that's ongoing right now in I think it's Dallas, the Grapevine Mall in Dallas. Okay. And they go to cities. They go to a lot of different cities that aren't just New York, LA, London. You know, they really are. They go to like nooks and crannies. Like my friend Karina Ripper, who's a director, she laughed because she's like, that's my local mall when I was a kid, when I grew up in Dallas.
Really?
So think of your like mall, right? You know, in Calgary, Alberta, it would have been like the Sunshine Mall down the block. Like all if like Meow Wolf went there and put on a giant, I'd be like, what? What that shitty ass mall? They're like, I think it's just amazing what they're doing for like culture building. But the other thing, so I don't want to say too much more, but yeah, they're massive art exhibits. I haven't experienced them firsthand myself. I'm just, because I haven't experienced them firsthand myself, they also are like really an enigma to me still. Like what Meow Wolf is. And so this ad is just perfect to help feed that feeling.
It's great.
And I love that they like join a giant space cult at the end, essentially.
Yeah.
and that ties into the like creepy depths of a mall, like the dark depths of a abandoned. Grapevine's not an abandoned mall, but I think there's just something about the idea of a mall that gives me like delight and also kind of gives me the willies every time I think about a mall.
Yeah. And I think with the like mall jogging group, they nailed that creepy aspect.
God, I didn't even think about it as a mall jogging group.
Yeah, I think it reminds me because I just watched.
Awesome.
I just watched that that shamelessly long show, Better Call Saul, and they have a mall walking group in one of the seasons.
Wow.
Just as
so there's a little cool. Is that a phenomenon? Wow. Okay.
I think it's a phenomenon. I vaguely remember people like walking through malls for the exercise.
Maybe in an episode of Joe Pera, this is a TV show. There's like set in I think it's Michigan, yeah. But like during the winters, you'll go like walk around like a sports arena.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's something kind of charming about that. To like go to, like in the middle of deep winter, everyone goes to the mall and like actually spends time with one another in a jogging group. Or
communal point. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's, I think we when it's in this context, when it's painted this way, it's weird and it's sort of has that veneer about it. But I mean, it's that kind of stuff is important to some people to actually get out and do stuff.
The casting's so good. There is a protagonist that she's just like oh my God.
Her smile nails it.
Oh my God. Everyone is like psycho happy, like a cult, like fully drank the Kool-Aid, and is like just beaming with positivity, like it's shooting at. I remember we went to the surf shop Mollusk, and the surfers there have this similar like, what is stoke, man? Like, is it real or is it a put on? Like to be seriously stoked all the time and happy and like treat everyone that way.
I remember when I was skateboarding in my teens, that was a common word thrown around. It was an overused word.
I think stoke can be real, like, and people commit to stoke. And this cult of jog walkers going into the Meow Wolf universe are all very fucking hyper stoked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. So it's got such good energy. I like every shot. Every shot I could just loop.
Yeah.
I kind of, as I was watching it with you, I was like, oh my God, actually this is totally Ken's jam. There's even palette in this that like similar to some of your work.
Yeah. I love a good saturated primary color.
So this is just a pure celebration of a fantastic ad. I don't really have much else to get into except for that it like taps into nostalgia for me and my upbringing, and there's quirky surrealism just smattered all within. That fucking like the thing I'm like, the moment that I'm like I was like disarmed by and confused by, and I was like, I can't believe they're doing this. This is so heady. Was the like meta video game moment where the guy is playing a video game.
Yes.
Well, he's looking at the camera and he's like, I found a whole new way to play. And then he zooms in and there's another guy playing a video game, and he's playing a video game of another guy playing a video game.
It's like a Matryoshka moment.
and then there's a weird cartoon mouse who says the same thing. I found a whole new way to play, and it gets more and more 8-bit.
And then we're looking from the video game out to this guy who's playing.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yes, that's really like complicated filmmaking that is just chucked into the ad that I don't know. You have to be pretty well, like, you know, what did they say? Like, you know, to watch films, there's a certain amount of education that you need to even understand, like, what you're looking at. That one shocked me. I was like, what am I looking at? Like, I get it. But man, that went by, like, and punched me in the head. Yeah. But again, it's not really punched me in the head. Gave my head a hug. I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's great. I like it.
Reminds me of Nagi Noda also. Remember Nagi Noda? That director that would like came out with this incredible, she had an incredible career and she passed away sadly at the like height of her career.
Oh, maybe that rings a bell actually. Yeah.
The most memeable thing that she's ever made was a workout videos of humanoid poodles. Does that ring a bell?
I think maybe. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm just gonna have to share some of her work with you on another episode at some point.
Yeah, that's it. Save for the next one.
Okay, keep it moving.
Yeah.
I tend to ramble, try to dig up like something more like deep in these ads, but it's just this one's like
this one's surface.
This one's like, this one's eating like cotton candy. So like, hooray for this fucking ad, right?
All right, let's move on to number 2 then.
Right. Next one. I think it's really interesting to like look at products and companies who have, like, they're not really offering much to the marketplace except for branding and a story. And some of those come like Oatly is just oat milk, and like you can make it at home, but they've got an incredible tenacity for advertisement and marketing and branding. And they do a good job, and they also try a lot of shit. They try a lot of stuff, so it's wild. I've talked to you before about, we tried to do another episode about mud water. They're doing a similar like campaign. It's basically just a mushroom mix. You don't
mud water. You
don't really need to buy that product. You can just eat the mushrooms. It's not really a coffee alternative, although that's what they claim it to be. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a different kind of drink. It doesn't have to be compared to coffee. And then another brand that is ultra fascinating is Liquid Death, which is water. And they've rebranded water. It's insane. Do you know it?
No, I do now.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow. But they've got a plethora of ads, just so much, and they try so much. So there's like so much I was like, God, what do I even show Kent? Because it's more like it would be fun to go through the entire catalog and be like, look what this company is doing. Look how much they're producing. And it's like these companies don't have the hindrance of like traditional or old corporations where like, you know, if like Old Spice is going to make an ad, it's a very big deal and it's a lot of money. Whereas I think for these companies, they can just crank out these ads a lot faster and cheaper with equal quality, and they're just more limber. I watched some stuff that was good. I watched some stuff that was shocking. Anyway, so I found one that made me mad. Because we're always trying to find bad ads. And I don't know if we're going to be able to even get through it. If you want to just stop it, we don't have to watch the whole thing. You have to watch the whole thing. It is 2 minutes and 13 seconds, so it's a longer ad.
I'll prepare my attention span.
And I don't think I've watched the whole thing through because I've stopped it. I was like angry. I didn't really want to watch it anymore. Okay, so here's the link.
I'm going to open it. Hang on, give me 2 seconds.
I fucked this up.
Is this not the right ad?
I fucked it up.
Is it not the right ad?
It's for Oatly, not for Liquid Death.
Okay, that's fine.
Should we reset this whole thing?
If you want, sure.
I fucked it up.
That's okay.
Sorry, Ken.
No, leave this. It's the part of the fun.
You know what? We should just keep it raw. It's within the same. It's
Not
within the
Oatly.
same.
I mean, yes, Oatly.
It's within the same realm of companies that I'm interested in, and maybe like a little envious of how great of a job they're doing in building. Anyway, let's watch it. Let's watch it. It's for Oatly. Yeah.
Okay,
it's for
I'm
Oatly.
ready now.
Ready. Play.
3, 2, 1.
Hey Al, what's with the new look? And what is that on your arm?
That's my new biodynamic tattoo with microbrewed ink, blessed by vintage whale song.
Right.
Haunting, I'm sure you'll agree.
Yeah, and why?
It's all part of my new plant-based lifestyle.
Al, you've got this completely wrong, if you don't mind me saying. A plant-based lifestyle is for everyone and anyone. It's not just for hipsters.
Not a hipster.
What?
Said I'm not a hipster. They told me to say that I'm not a hipster.
Wait, what? Who told you to say that you're not a...
The council.
The council?
Yeah, the council of not hipsters.
Right. You see, a plant-based lifestyle is not about who, it's about why. And anyone can eat plant-based if they feel like being more sustainable and helping the planet out.
Anyone?
That's right, Al. Anyone. Whether you're a mother, or a sister, or a brother, or comic book writer, or a garbage truck driver, if you're digging ditches, or lumberjacking trees, living on a yacht, or making honey with the bees, anyone can eat plant-based. Get inspired, no beards required! Zookeeper grandpas, jet pilot grandmas, CEO soldiers, composers with hangovers, sausage makers, circus trainers, pet sitters, entertainers, royal family members. There's just one thing to remember. Anyone can eat plant-based. Get inspired, no beards required. You just need a mouth, no need to hug a tree. Eating plant-based is for everybody. Anyone can eat plant-based. Get inspired, no beards required. Anyone can eat plant-based. Even you.
So, that's made by the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared people, isn't it?
No.
It's not. It's not made by them. It's clearly ripping them off then.
That's why I showed it.
Oh, God, really? Well, I was going through the motions. Like, what's her name again?
Becky and Joe.
I was like,
oh, this is a...
Yeah, I thought like, oh, you know, like it's been committed to hell, this idea. But fine, they probably got paid and they're good at what they do, so I can live with it. But that they didn't do it is even more enraging. Why?
Yeah.
Not get them to do it?
Because
maybe they turned it down.
They're busy.
Yeah, that's true.
Making a TV show. I mean, I'm not going to assume. But you know, classically, they don't even reach out to the original creators. Classically, I don't know if that's true as well. Who knows what the story is? There's so many things we can hypothesize about, like how or why this got made, and how or why they were not involved, and why it is flat and does not have the timing and the edge of Becky and Joe's work.
Yeah.
Because the first
it's a bit of like a milquetoast version. Yeah.
It's just that world where like the rip-offery, if that's a term, is high and nigh. You know, it's just and there's obviously influencing and inspiration and recreation, but this is just singing the song and doing it badly. Bad cover.
Yeah. And like, do people still use the word hipster? Is that still a thing?
That too, man.
That feels like a dad joke now. That's a 10-year-old, 20-year-old term, isn't it? 10, 20?
I don't know. 1 year ago, this was put out. So yeah, it felt like this was. I was like, who is this for?
Yeah. Who is this for? This is for watchers of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, to try and dupe them into drinking Oatly because they think it's by the same people. So they're like, oh, Becky and Joe must have done this. I'll drink some Oatly. This is targeted advertising at its peak.
And we all know that this. Yes, no, that's.
It's
There
probably
is
not the case,
something.
but you know.
I mean, in my mind, they're wildly popular, but not to the level of mass.
No, yeah.
Our kids and our people know who they are.
Yeah.
And then it's probably transcended to the Adult Swim crowd and outward to the art world, and they're great. I love them, you know, like they're great. And so to see it, I was like, why would they take, I was like, my first instinct was, why would they take something that is so personal and so original and turn that into, they're capable, their career was not only Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, you know, like they're capable to do whatever for Oatly. I don't think they would take their, you know, their original content and turn it into an Oatly commercial. So that was my first instinct, like, oh my God, did they do that? They didn't. No, they did not.
Good for them.
I don't know. It's pretty wild.
Wow. That's all I have to say. It's not awful.
No.
But it's, maybe we know too much and
yes,
we're looking too far into it. On the surface, can be funny. Maybe they're trying to get a new bit of the market. Maybe some people who are maybe slightly inclined to be into this sort of thing.
Right, that perspective that like you're looking for somebody who, what the fuck? You're looking for an end customer who's gonna be bamboozled by puppets? Like, not bamboozled, but like, you know what I mean? You're like, this is for a person that likes comedy and cheekiness. Or is this for Brits?
I don't know.
Or is it not?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know. Oh, I made the mistake of reading the comments. Some people are tearing them apart and they've answered and it's...
Please share. Please share.
Should I read it?
Just one. Come on, just one.
All right. D. Gosser48 says, really hope this was done in collab with blah, 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 Becky, etc. Otherwise, it's a very shameful ripoff. And Oatly TV responds, it wasn't, but we take it as a compliment that you ask. You can find inspiration from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared and others like The Muppets and Sesame Street and the one-dimensional life lesson messaging through song, dance, and puppets that they deliver in our own venture into spreading the plant-based message through puppeteering. Oh, why did they do it?
I mean,
I think they've tried to answer it in character and it hasn't really come off that way.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Wow, the fact that, I mean, Oatly has a lot of power.
Yeah.
As a brand, and they put a lot of, and every commercial they put out and continue to post and host as a like tribute to their brand, it does show like how seriously they consider what they make and how they see themselves as a company. And that's like doubling down on ripping off artists, right?
Yeah,
there,
it is. Yeah. It gets a little bit more nasty. I'm not going to read that stuff, but
yeah. I mean, people adore Becky and Joe, and people adore Don't.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, a cult following that I include myself in. Like,
hyper
scared. Yeah, exactly.
So,
absolutely. Yeah,
it is co-opting an artistic point of view for sure.
Yeah.
It's just a little sad, and is someone just really excited at an ad agency? You know, like who? Because like again, who are they reaching that this is going to turn a hipster loathing non-plant-based milk drinking person to drink Oatly. That's just not gonna, this video is not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Maybe it has the smallest amount of influence, and maybe they capture the brain of a 7-year-old who's like, Mom, what's plant-based? You know, and then like it actually maybe it. Do you think this is for? That's my instinct is this is kind of for children, and to plant little seeds into children's mind.
You think?
Drop it. I don't know. I just can't see what this is for. I mean, to be honest, I love going through Oatly's videos because they do great. They do really interesting stuff. Really, really fascinating ad work.
Yeah.
So it's just disappointing to see them
do this.
Yeah, that's all. We know it. It's like it's definitely like there's like paying tribute to Becky and Joe by doing something new, where you're like, oh my God, that's next. That's an evolution. Like you see it, you're like, yes. And this is definitely just
lifted.
Fuck. Is there anything else to say about companies?
I mean, we've all been. You and I have been there. We've been in an ad agency where you get a brief, and they're like, "Oh, this is in such and such a style. They're not available, but we really like it."
Yes. Oh, that's the worst feeling.
Yeah, and it's understandable. Like,
it is always the worst
these guys
feeling.
They're in a hard situation. They want Becky and Joe, but they can't get them.
Yeah.
So you're stuck there, like, okay, well, I'll be Becky and Joe for whatever, how long it takes. And everyone kind of feels shit about it.
Yeah. And you kind of know you're going to make a bad product, a bad ad, a bad thing from the beginning. No matter how much you try to fight against it.
Yeah.
If that deck that's facing you full of Becky and Joe stuff, you're screwed. You're screwed.
Yeah.
I love that.
Why am I even included in this?
Yeah, I love that when like humans can't figure out a solution to like more effectively ripping somebody off. Like it's just not possible. It always doesn't work. Like that's amazing. That's so incredible. It only works when it like, I mean, this is my process and I stick to it and I love it. I always find 3 or more things that I love, stare at them obsessively, and think, how on earth can I combine universes? And it will always generate something new. Because it's not, it actually starts to get so disassociated from the original influences, which is that's crazy. You're like,
but that's where interesting things happen, is when you mix references together and then find something new from them. I feel like the reference here is one reference. Yeah. And you can tell. And
the hipster center point is just so dated that it actually starts to become a little bit like laughable and like I feel
like Becky and Joe would have like capitalized on that and like gone into the universe of hipster and like how it's not a thing anymore and how it's sort of aged and dated.
That would have been good. That would have been good.
Like where's the hipster now in some hipster basement, like granddad.
Right.
Or
and
something.
Like,
I don't know.
And like Oatly and oat milk is this new normal. Like it's so boring.
Yeah.
Boring Oatly. That might be like a good, and if done in a Becky and Joe way, like boring oat milk, like maybe boring oat milk might have been an interesting thing to explore.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyways, that's it. That's all.
I'm now dead inside. You should have put the bad one first.
I know. I thought about that. I was like, what's the best way? This is not an ending.
Yeah.
You know, there was. Yeah. But I wish there was a little like we could do a feature where you like watch something as a chaser, and we don't say anything about it. We just go thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to? Okay, let's do it.
And there.
Okay, so I've watched some of these. I haven't watched all of them.
Kids hydrating at a party.
Where is it?
Liquid Death big game commercial with kids hydrating at a party. It's the on the videos part, it's the
Yes,
20 down.
yes.
You see it?
Sure. Yeah, it's a great thumbnail. Like I get why I totally understand why you picked that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's watch.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Breaking the law, 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 breaking the law.
Lots of chuckles. So thumbs up. I love water. I love breaking the law.
Thumbs up.
You love
good, man. He's good.
No,
That's great.
Good.
That's a good way to get like all the surly, cynical metalheads to drink water.
Yeah, and there's like such a sober revolution taking place. You know, bars are notably, or like music venues in town especially, are like getting hit hard by the Gen Zers not drinking anymore.
Oh,
they
yeah.
pay for their ticket to go to the show, and they don't drink it.
Yeah, fair enough. Like they've seen how previous generations have overdone it, so.
Yeah, and honestly, I've totally been in that situation where I've been out, hanging out. I'm like, what do you guys got non-alcoholic? And it's a CBD soda that tastes like shit, like half the time. Like I drink them, but they don't taste great.
Yeah.
And they're like $4 or $5 at the bar. I'm like, I'll just get a liquid death. At least it's just water, you know? Like, yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's great.
This is the definition of an ad for an ad's sake, almost to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's water. Like,
it's just water, isn't it?
It's all ad. It's all everything about it. The branding of the can, how they exploit it as a like so-called thing that kind of looks like a beer, but it's not a beer.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and yeah, it's like very like self-effacing, and they see themselves, and that's what makes it so good.
Yeah. I bet you they stop themselves. There's a whole lot of like house party situations that I feel were left on the table.
Oh, sure.
They probably couldn't push it as far as they wanted to.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, but I understand if it's kids in it, then understandable.
Oh my god, yes, the ink goes so dark. Like, oh my god. In terms of like alcoholic debauchery, like what the scenarios could have been.
Yeah.
Right. And it still would have been like increasingly more funny if they explored all those routes. To me. Like,
Totally.
They can go as dark as they want, it still would be funny.
Yeah.
Someone throwing up water in a toilet. Like,
It's great.
Oh, we did it. We got through some ads.
That's good. I like it.
Well, that's it.
Including sentence.
Yeah. Dorf number 2 and
Breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law.